right. Welcome back. Welcome back to our series of instructional videos that we are busy putting together for um, directions on how to use our farm accounting system. I would just like to apologize for the sound of my voice as it's a bit scratchy because of a light flu that I picked up. Winter is on us. Yes. Now, during this particular video, we are going to look at a scenario which I believe applies to most of our farmers, if not all, who will be acquiring this system. And it is the scenario where you are already farming and you've got your farming enterprise already underway. So that means you've got livestock um, and stuff that you want to start entering and registering on the system. So most probably because your business is already ongoing and all that, you are not going to have any um, capital investment as a transaction here, um, because you probably did that uh, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that you invested capital into your business, into your farming enterprise. So it might not necessarily be recorded here. But you are having livestock and you want to start putting them in on the system so that you can start using the system for your enterprise going forward. So what do you do in that regard? Well, first of all, you need to register all your animals, right? So you need to register all your animals. So now let's say, for example, as in this example, you've got goats. So you register all the goats, and then you register all your cattle, and then you register all your sheep. Depending on the breeding class as well, you assign the enterprise code and all that. So and then you will see that as you put in the value that you assign to your animals, it will be displayed as the current value when the status of the animal is active. We've looked at that already. We are not going to look at that in this particular video. So, all right, now that you have registered all your animals, you will see that, and this is the first thing that you need to do. It's the first thing that you need to do when you get your 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 system. You need to record all your animals in, um, and then you will see that when you come to the transactions register, that there is no transaction recorded yet. All right, you just got the system now, and you want to start putting in your um, your livestock. So no transactions. And no transaction means that now that you have registered your animals, your livestock on the system in this way. So now when you go to the balance sheet, because remember that as you record these animals, as you record these livestock, they are automatically captured on the balance sheet as assets. All right. So when you go there, you are going to see that there is an imbalance because the assets section, the section of your assets, you see, especially when it comes to the livestock. So you see 3,000 here, 6,000 here, 3,000 here. So the total livestock is 12,000. So the livestock are being recorded or captured in the system as assets, but the corresponding or the opposite side that needs to balance is at zero because there is no equity recorded and there is no liability recorded. Now you will see that we have added this line towards the equity side of things. It's called the equity opening balance. All right. So this is going to be capturing. It's going to be capturing your your opening balances, especially when it comes to your assets. All right. Especially when it comes to your assets. So whatever, whether you've got inventory for crop, you've got feed that you want to already put in here, you've got, whatever assets you have as opening balances, they are going to be captured under the equity opening balance. So, and then once that is done, then you are going to see that your total liabilities plus equity is going to be updated with that new figure, and your balance sheet is going to, or is expected to balance. All right, if there are no other issues. So let's quickly go into that and see that in action. So let's go to the transactions register and record that. Now we have seen already that our total assets or our total livestock is valued, the combined value of our total assets, or rather total animals, total livestock, the combined value is 12,000. So we are going to use that figure now that we've got them all registered. We've got the cattle, I mean, we've got the cattle registered, we've got the sheep, the goats, whatever, all the livestock we have. And then we've got them registered. So what we are now going to do is that we're going to take their combined value and we're going to use that as the opening equity balance. All right. So then we go to our transactions register, and we put in the date. Let's say, for example, maybe it's month is February, um, February the 15th, all right, February the 15th, and uh, the year is 2026, all right, 2026. So, um, and the reference, you could maybe say um, open uh, equity, yeah, open equity, all right. The description, we can then say opening equity balance. All right. Now, what we're going to do is that we now need to determine the accounts. We need to determine the accounts that are affected. Now, we say that every transaction needs to impact at least two accounts, at least. All right. So, the first account that is going to be impacted is the equity account. All right. So, we go to equity, um, equity open balance. All right. Equity open balance, not equity capital own. This is when you, as the owner, want to record opening capital. But now we want to record the equity opening balance. So that when you put in that, then it feels that already for you as normal as usual. So, and then we say that this is the source. All right. So this is the source because it is the account that gives the value. So it's the opening balance of equity. Now, when we look at, okay, and now we need to determine, or we need to record the other affected transactions. All right, because let's quickly look at at our trial balance, um, we see there is nothing here that appears. Trial balance says 0, while we have this 12,000 here. Okay, let's put the amount. Okay, let's put the amount. It was 12,000, right? It was 12,000. So let's check it out again. All right, now we are having 12,000. But now this 12,000, um, the credit side is more than the debit side. So we have nothing on the debit side. So our trial balance is also not balanced. So we now need to go and record the other affected, the oppositely affected account. So we go back to the transactions register and we say on the same date. So now we need to put in, because when we look at the balance sheet, we see that all our various livestock has got their numbers updated. So we could have just created an account that says a livestock opening balance, or but that wouldn't be accurate. So we want our transactions to actually speak to us. Therefore, we are going to record each and every one of these individual balances as a separate balance, just so that when we come to our transactions, we know what was the opening balance for what was the opening balance for what, you know. All right, that just gives us more accuracy. Otherwise, we could have just created an account, just one account that handles all livestock. But I prefer things to be more accurate. So therefore, we are going to say that on the same date, um, we are going to add 3 more lines for the same transaction. Remember, we said at least 2, but they are not limited to 2 per transaction. At least 2. Right. So on the same date, we've also got oh man. Okay, we've also got we just pull this down. Okay, now we are now going to put in the 3 different um, accounts that are affected as recipients. So the first one obviously is going to be asset livestock, goats. I know that probably most of you would start with cattle. So let's put cattle in there. And we said, no, I think all of them were breeding stock, not breeding. So, and then the asset livestock, sheep breeding. All right. So, and all of them will be recipients. So all of them will be recipients account. All right. So that we can have them on the debit side of things. All right. So now let's go get the figures. Let's quickly go get the figures. Go back to the balance sheet. We said cattle is 3,000 and the sheep, and then the goats are 6,000. Okay. So probably why I mentioned them first. Goats. All right. So goats, 6,000, and the others are 3,000 each. All right. Others are 3,000 each. Okay. So there is our opening balances. And let's assign them to their respective enterprises. We said goats, cattle, sheep. Okay, goats, cattle, sheep. breeding, uh, cattle breeding, and sheep breeding. All right. Okay. So now let's quickly see our trial balance. And it's not balancing. I see zeros here. We see zeros here. So why are there zeros? And you will see it's very important for you to check out the date. All right. So the reporting period is January 2026. So these are the balances as at 2026. So, but then when you look at the transaction, it's done in February. That's why you would see those zeros there. So you need to go and change the date. So when we make it February 2026 and we go back to our trial balance, now we see that we are balanced. All right. Now we see that we are balanced. And our our balance sheet, let's go see whether our dilemma has been solved. And there we are. Our books are balancing now. So that is how we record livestock or other inventory um, opening balances. All right. I trust that this video was sufficient enough. It was clear enough, and I will see you in the next one.